A lot of graduates in Nigeria, if not most, don't get to practice what they studied in school. In their quest for survival, they often transition to an entirely different field. It takes a lot of courage, resilience, and determination to do this. And I think a lot of inspiration can be drawn from their stories, which is why, once again, I'm at the residence of an exceptional professional who has shown so much excellence in his line of work. I'm here to have a conversation with him and with the hope of drawing valuable insights from his story on how he was able to successfully transition from a background in electrical engineering to project management. Thank you very much for inviting me to your house. I believe there's a lot we can uncover in this conversation from your experience, making a transition from an academic background in electrical engineering to what you do today as a project manager. Tell us your name, please, and how you made that transition.
Hey, thanks very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you on Mouthpiece or Career Talks with
Career
the mouth
master. Career
Career
master.
Master with the Mouthpiece. So, my name is Nonso, and I am a graduate of Electrical Electronics Engineering, and yeah, from Federal University of Technology, Mina. And how I made that transition in from electrical engineering to project management is I actually stumbled upon project management, to be honest. It was not a direct plan. I did not plan to be an IT
Mhm.
project manager, so I stumbled upon it in the course of life, trying to do different things, trying to get out of the streets, as they would call it. Exactly. So I had tried my hands on a couple of different things. I did front end engineering and a couple of it. Then I stumbled into project management and I realized that, okay, I like this. It's actually cool and I enjoy doing it. So that's how I transitioned into it. And doing it, I realized there's not much difference
Okay.
between um, what I studied and what I'm doing. There are always transferable skills from what I studied, which is electrical engineering, to what I'm doing now. Transferable skills in the sense that logical thinking is logical thinking, whether it's in
Yeah.
engineering, whether it's in project management, problem solving skills is the same thing, whether it's in engineering. So it's just the mode of application. I think the basic skills are transferable, so you can always juggle your way around. So yes, that is how I transitioned into projects management from an engineering
Mhm.
background actually.
That's such an incredible story. And I think, according to you now, you've experimented with different things. You've done
Oh
front end
yes.
engineering. You've done what else? What else did you do aside front end engineering?
I've done front end engineering. I've tried my hands on graphics. I've tried my hands on actual practicing as an engineer.
Yeah.
Actually, I've
A site
practiced a
engineer.
site engineer in a
Oh.
construction firm. So I've actually tried my hands on a
So
lot
for
of
someone that's
things.
experimented with a lot of, jobs or careers like that before finally, you know, finding your place in project management, at what point, how did you know that project management was for you? What was it about project management that made
Okay.
you realize that, yeah, this is something I really want to pursue to the end? And what do you enjoy the most about this job as a project manager?
Hmm. So that's an interesting question. So for me personally, I think I've always enjoyed solving problems and creating new things. And just like what made me double into front end engineering, I love creating new things. When you create things and see them come to life, it gives you this joy, it gives you this fulfillment in your heart. I experienced the same thing with project management. This time, I don't necessarily have to be the one creating it myself. I oversee the whole process of creation from end to end. So it gives me more, I'm more involved in it because uh, I see it from end to end. The creation,
Yeah.
where I see it from the ideation state to the finish line until it goes live to the public. So I'm more involved in it. So the whole creation process is one of the things I enjoy about managing projects and project management. And another thing I enjoy about project management is it gives me this freedom and it gives me this freedom to learn.
Okay.
It's broad. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on a project, I have to immerse myself in that project. By so doing, I'm learning a lot on that project. I have another project with something else, not related or related. I'm immersing myself, so it gives me this free way to learn as much as I
Yeah.
can. So I enjoy it. I just enjoy learning. I enjoy bringing things to life. So that's one of the things that I enjoy about project management.
I like that. I particularly like the fact that you said you enjoy overseeing projects because that rings a bell. I have been in tech spaces. I've been around a lot of tech people, and a lot of times some of them have this notion that project managers don't just all project managers do is talk, talk, talk. They talk and assign projects. They don't do the actual work. So what is a from your experience so far? What's a common misconception that laymen like myself have about your job as a project manager, and what do you think we can do better to address that?
Oh, I think that's true. I think I've heard it a lot as well. A lot of developers and other people, they'll be like, what is this project manager doing? You only need to ask for updates. Where are we? Where are we on this? So I think the misconception is very, very true and common. But I think that's not true. There's actually a whole lot involved in being a project manager. You get it starts from negotiation, planning, managing stakeholders. People take it for granted. People think, yes, it's not just to
It's
talk,
just talk.
but there's a whole lot exactly. It starts from identifying risks early enough to prevent it from happening. It starts from technical knowledge because at the end of the day, so me, for example, I'm not just a project manager, I'm a technical project manager. So for you to become a technical project manager, you have to have some technical understanding of what's happening at the end of the day. With that technical understanding of what's happening, you can easily see the end to end of it and prevent some risks from
From
happening
happening.
because you understand the flow of what's happening. So there's a whole lot involved, and it's not just about asking for updates. Yes, asking for updates is part of it, and we'll keep asking for updates, so they should not be angry. But yes, there's a whole lot involved in it: negotiation, identifying risks, um, planning, meeting and managing stakeholders, both internally and externally, making sure the development team is in track, making sure that every other person is on their job and doing what they're supposed to do. So it's not just about asking for updates and all of that. So yeah, that's it for us.
After all, even if it's talking is not an easy job to do. Well,
Exactly.
yeah,
People think it's easy.
there are a lot of people that
Let's put
struggle
the
with
camera on
talking.
your face. Come and talk as well. So yeah.
So my next question would be, with the how many years of experience do you have so far
Okay,
as a
so
project manager?
as a project manager, I have 2 years of experience so
Two
far.
years of experience.
Yeah.
So with your 2 years of experience so far, if you were to go back in time to
Mm,
maybe when you started your career as a
okay.
project manager, what advice, do you have any words of advice you could give your younger self when you started out in this career with what you know right now?
Mm, any advice I would give my younger self, just starting out or when I just started as a project manager, it's going to be similar to what I did. Basically, learn because you're moving into a new field or you're starting out a new field or career. There's so much you have to learn. Learn a lot as you can. Look for mentors in the system. Look for mentors that are doing what you want to do or where you want to be. Learn a lot from them. Watch videos. There are plenty informations and resources online. You don't even have to pay for them. Don't focus so much on certifications. I see it as a rabbit hole. Most people are trying to go into project management. There's so much dwell on the certification. They want to be PMP certified or get their Scrum Master this. Yeah, while all of that is nice and good, don't dwell so much on it. Focus more on the learning and the experience part of it. Try to do some volunteering work. Any role that will just give you experience and hands-on experience. Mentorship, boot camp, and just learn a lot and ask a lot of questions. One thing I've learned as a junior project manager when I started off was asking questions. Asking questions, yeah, it might make you look stupid and dumb,
Yeah,
but it gives you that knowledge you need. When you ask a question, you look dumb and
I never
but
go
when
wrong with
exactly
asking
you can never go wrong asking questions. So always ask questions, always be inquisitive, always try to know why things are like this and basically just dive yourself and submerge yourself in the process and the sky is the limit from there on.
I think you've painted a clear picture because going to the next question I want to ask you, you've done a bit of justice to it.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you what, for like young graduates, say a fresh graduate that are aspiring to a career in project management,
Okay.
what traits or what qualities should they look out for in their personalities that would be clear pointers to the fact that okay, uh, they could they could excel
Mm.
at a career in project management? Like, how do I know? I know you've clearly mentioned curiosity. Like, if I would summarize your last
True.
answer, curiosity, you have to have a curious mind. What other qualities should young people, say a fresh graduate right out of school,
Okay.
what qualities should they have to, to be sure that they will excel in project management?
Okay. So for me personally, as a person, I believe anybody can excel in anything they put their mind to.
Yeah,
Personally,
that
whether
makes
you have the
sense.
qualities or not, whatever you put your mind to, you can excel in it. But some qualities that will be needed and appreciated if you want to dive into the field of project management, just like you said, curiosity. As a curious person, you would do well in a lot of things, not just
Yeah,
project management.
yeah,
You should also have a problem solving mindset to excel in this field because you're going to be solving problems from one way or the other. You set out a well detailed plan and somehow things go out of the way, or something unexpected happens. So there are always problems to be encountered. So you need to be prepared and have this mindset of, okay, yes, how do I navigate this? How do I solve this? So a solving mindset is one of it. Another skill that I would want anybody, young person looking to
transition.
transition into the project management or technical project management is a good communication skills. You need to be able to clearly convey your ideas and basically those things in your head. You need to be clearly convey them to stakeholders and also to your team members, because no matter how brilliant and intelligent your plans are
Yeah,
or those ideas are,
can't
if it's
communicate
still
it.
exactly, if you cannot clearly and
Yeah,
concisely communicate those ideas, it's going to be a problem. People take
especially to
it
developers.
exactly, especially to developers and also stakeholders, because you need to understand your audience to be able to properly
Yeah,
communicate with them. The way you communicate with your developers is different from the way you communicate with your
yeah.
stakeholders, say management. So you need to understand that balance and how to clearly
So
communicate.
would I be right? Would I be right if I summarize your job? I'm no project manager, I'm a layman. But would I be right if I
Okay.
summarize what you do as being a middleman or an intermediary between stakeholders and developers?
In a
Would I be
in a
right?
in a in a layman, yes, you are very
You're
correct.
in the
In a
middle.
layman, yeah,
You are the one
exactly.
that reaches out to the stakeholders and maybe users,
Exactly.
and then
Exactly. We are like the bridge between both people,
between the
both the
developers
developers and
and
the
the
management or the
manager.
stakeholders.
Oh,
So we speak and work with the developers. We also speak and
okay.
work with the management. So it's part of the things I love about the job. You have
Mm,
influence in
listen,
both words
oh,
of
okay.
it. So yes, you'll be correct in that. Also, another skill that will be needed if you're transitioning or you were looking into moving into
Project management.
project management, also organization. You need to have good organization skills, how you organize your things. You need to have good time management skill on managing your time and resources as well. So these are some of the skills that are needed, uh, and they're all transferable skills. That's why I said they're all transferable
Yeah,
skills too,
from
that
other
you can
careers. Yeah.
exactly. So those are what I think you need, some of the skills.
That's a whole lot. Very insightful.
I know, right?
And yeah. And that was my final question. But before we go,
Okay.
we are going to wrap up with a simple fun game that I call the mouthpiece fiesta.
Oof,
You have
I love games. Let's go.
you have 2 years of work experience. So you're
Yeah.
going to pick two numbers, any two numbers between 1 and 5, and then I
Mm,
would present five. I'll present general question,
okay.
two general knowledge questions for you to attempt. Are you
Okay.
ready?
All right, that's fine. Two numbers between one and
Two
five.
numbers between 1 and 5. So
Okay, I'm
what
going with
numbers are those?
number one and five.
Number 1 and 5. So here are the questions.
Mm,
What is the most populous? This is a simple one. What's the most populous country in Africa?
it's Nigeria now.
Of course,
Actually, that's
it's
an
a
easy
simple
one.
one. An easy one.
That's an easy one. Come hard, come hard.
All right. What is the question 5? What is the name of the highest mountain in Africa?
In Africa,
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro.
Did you guess that or you knew
I
that?
didn't. I was confused. Either Kilimanjaro or Everest,
All
but
right. You're right.
Africa.
You're right.
Yay.
That would be 2/2.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So this would be the end of our session today. I think it has been a very insightful conversation and I totally enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for appearing on Career Master.
Thanks
And
for thanks
yes,
for having me as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. Yes, guys, if you have any questions for Nonso, he transitioned from electrical engineering to project management and he's doing well. I've known him before now. He's doing well in his field. If you have any questions for him, drop them in the comments and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye for now.